Hey there, it's Susan Pierce Thompson, and welcome to the weekly vlog. Oh my goodness. Well, here we are again, another week in coronavirus land, and it's getting more intense out there. And how are you? I hope that you are rocking and rolling with all this as well as can be expected. And if there are ups and downs, I'm loving you. I get it. And if you're doing pretty great and actually really benefiting from this, what feels like a respite in a lot of ways, I get it. Yeah. And if you kind of feel like you're going out of your mind and it's really, really, really hard right now, and it's just feeling overwhelming and anxiety provoking and pretty horrible at times, yeah, I get it. I just want to love you and normalize anything you might be going through right now. Honestly, you're just coming by it really fairly. Like it's just a completely unprecedented time. And I've been talking in the vlog for the last couple weeks about the reciprocal relationship between anxiety and control. The less control you feel like you have, the more anxiety you have. And the more control you feel like you have, the less anxiety you have. And for that reason, I am taking the opportunity in the weekly vlog, which is the one piece of content that I put out here at Bright Line Eating that gets the most viewership, consumption, attention. I want to take this moment to tell you a bit about what's coming down the pike in Bright Line Eating, because what's happening around here, honestly, is that things are changing pretty fast. And in good ways, in ways that actually feel so good to me that sometimes I can't sleep because I'm so excited by it, like just buzzing and thoughts racing and envisioning the future and just really lit up by what's coming down the pike. But I'm also aware that this is a touchy time to be shifting things up on people because already so much feels up in the air and out of control. So I want to take this opportunity in the vlog to explain in advance, as clearly as I can, as much as I know right now, about the next stretch of what's coming down the pike, so that you feel the most in control that you can feel in this Bright Line Eating landscape. I feel like it's the least I can do from my vantage point to help there be, one less thing that feels like it's all changing too fast and out of your control. So that's what the weekly vlog is about. I'm going to talk about a set of webinars that are coming up where we will be introducing a new course, and I'll talk about that. And the course is going to be in a whole new community platform, not Facebook, for the community portion of it. And that, I predict, is going to change the face of Bright Line Eating. But it's a test. It's just an experiment right now, and we will see. So those are the things that I want to cover right now. Everett Considine and I, if you don't know Everett Considine, I talk about him a fair bit. He's the one who is an IFS certified coach. IFS stands for Internal Family Systems, and it's parts work. It's the way we do the inner work in Bright Line Eating, like the dropping inside yourself and noticing the parts of you that are up. It might be a food indulger part that perhaps these days is suggesting, a bit more forcefully and a bit more often, that perhaps you might want to reconsider this whole bright line, this whole bright line thing, and maybe eat something that would give a nice dopamine rush just to counterbalance some of that cortisol, right? So the food indulger part, the food controller part, the inner critic part, the wounded child part, Everett Considine helps us work with our parts to heal and come back to center and be whole. And yeah, So Everett Considine and I have been talking a lot lately, and we have put together a webinar for you. It's free. It's called something like Dealing with Overwhelm, Stress, and Anxiety in Uncertain Times. And in it, he's going to talk about the parts that get activated when we're afraid and when we're anxious, when things are uncertain. There's a whole cast of characters that get activated. There's a system of like internal stuff that happens. And he's going to talk about that, and he's going to provide strategies for coming back to center and staying calm during uncertain times. And then I'm going to talk about the neuroscience of that, like what's going on in our brains with all of this extra agitation and fear being jacked up, and how does the brain prompt us to respond to that, and how do we keep our brains healthy through this? So basically, he's going to talk about the psychology, and then I'm going to talk about the underlying neuroscience. There's going to be a lot of practical, helpful stuff in there. That's going to take probably, I don't know, an hour and a half to 2 hours of that webinar, all kinds of helpful stuff. And then we're going to talk for a short bit about this course that we're going to offer, which is called BLE-Land Sisu, Calm and Bright Through Crisis. So if you don't know, Sisu is the Finnish word that means, there's no English equivalent, but something like grit, perseverance, determination, hardiness. And it's what is required right now to come back to center. Sisu is what's needed right now in times like this, like unusual fortitude. Even if you're staying calm, it's because of a certain degree of Sisu, right? Like resolutely limiting your checking of the news, for example, right? Grit, determination, perseverance, resolutely sticking to your bright lines. Or if you want to come back to your bright lines, it's going to take Sisu right now. So we'll talk for a brief bit about the course, and then we will offer an extended Q&A. So these webinars will be long. I'm thinking 3.5 hours total. Okay, so just prepare for that. There is a registration link down below, so you can just click to register. It's offered 3 different days live at a time that works best for me and my family. I was just selfish. I just scheduled it at the time that is least disruptive to my family. So it's at 2:30 in the afternoon. That also is keeping in mind that it's not too late for Europe, and not, I mean, it's pretty early for Australia actually, but yeah, at least like quasi awake hours for most of the world that tunes in. But yeah, 2:30 in the afternoon. There will be a replay, and so if you can't catch any of the live sessions, just block off a morning, afternoon, or evening and catch the replay. You have to register to get sent the replay. The days it will be offered. Tomorrow, Thursday, April 2nd, and then every 3 days after that. So Thursday, April 2nd, Sunday, April 5th, and then Wednesday, April 8th. And then the course will start April 9th. So registration for the course will begin on the very first webinar. And from Thursday, April 2nd, all the way until the following Thursday when the course starts, April 9th, people will be hopping into the new course and acclimating to the new Brightliners community that's in there. It's a whole new platform, and it is super exciting. And I want to take a second right now to show you a little bit about this community, because I don't think we're ever going to go back. I mean, this is a test. I'll just say that my team showed this to me last week. Like, they've been kicking the tires on it for a long time, but they finally were convinced that we should make that move, and they did a presentation to me and David. And my first thought before seeing the presentation was, we're going to have to take this really slow. We've got all these groups in Facebook and blah, blah, blah. And then we saw it. We saw the demo, and then David was like, oh, we got to move. And I was like, honey, we got to be cautious about a move like that. He's like, no, we don't. You're using an anchoring bias. Like, you're just thinking, well, Facebook is what we use, but like, this is way better. Like, in what world would you not just switch? This is a no-brainer. And then I couldn't sleep that night because I was thinking about all the different ways that people are going to be able to get support that they can't get right now in this new community. So let me just show you a recording, a little screen capture that I did with Stephen and Julia, who are 2 of our beloved Brightline Eating tech people. Fabulous, early, they're original gangstas to the max, like OG Brightline Eating staff. They've both been around for more than 5 years working for Brightline Eating. Stephen's the one who did the first website, susanpiercethompson.com, way back in the day, and he did it for free. And I was broke, and I sent him a $200 gas card, a Circle K gas card afterwards to thank him for building me my website. He was introduced to me by one of my former students who was his roommate. And he was so blown away and grateful for the $200 gift card I sent him in this sweet little card with the moon on it and the stars. And I, grateful to the moon for you or something. And he called me and he was elated that I paid him a $200 gas card for building me my website. Anyway, there are no words for how much I love these people and how much we've been through together. So earlier today, I got together with Stephen and Julia. Julia, who's equally amazing and has been just a rock for Bright Line Eating all this time and has a 20-year history working for IBM. So she's brought a lot of steady experience for us. Anyway, let's tune in to see just a quick little it's not that quick, I don't know, it's 10 minutes or something, this little overview that we did of the community for you. So check it out. Okay, so hey, here I am with Stephen Gomez and Julia Harold, who work for Bright Line Eating, and they've been putting this community together. Take it away. What's going on in here?
Right, so the first page that we've landed on here, once we're inside of the Brightlanders community, is our communities page. And this is where all of the activity for this course is going to take place in this community. So we're going to click inside of that, and we're now inside of the Brightline Sisu community. Up at the top, you can see still communities in the menu. So if you ever get lost, you can make your way back to the communities page and find the Sisu community. Down below here is the community menu. So we have, you can see that we started on the live feed where you're going to get, the latest from the people in your community, their current status.
And that's like the Facebook feed, right? Like that would be the equivalent of the Facebook feed that when you're in a group, that's what you would get. But this platform has so much more. So it's that plus so much.
That plus, right? So it's the format that you're used to, right? It looks familiar. You see a group description. We have our house leaders, so easy access to support. Here is our live feed where you can create posts, you can add pictures and videos. So one of the great features about this live feed though is this new feature up at the top, filter by tag. So down on Lyndon's post, you can see that she has a gratitude tag. And so we can actually go through and select the gratitude tag and only look at gratitude posts in the live feed.
So I don't know if, for example, you've ever wanted to form a mastermind group, but there's a mastermind search button right there. You can search for every post that's about people wanting mastermind groups or buddies or wanting support, right? So yeah, I'd like support. So when someone makes their post, they can, so Stephen, write a post, help, I want to eat. Help, I want to eat. I need somebody. All right, so then under the tag, you actually say that you'd like support, and maybe you also want to add that you're having a challenge right now. It's about your food. What else might you want to put in there? Maybe you're realizing that you need a buddy. You need to buddy up with somebody, so you put the buddy tag. So you publish that, and then let's imagine that you're doing great today. You could choose to be of support and just filter the whole thread by I'd like support, and then just go in and love on those people. Just, hey, Stephen, I'm here for you. I'm going to look you up in the directory, buddy, and I'm going to give you a call or whatever, right? Anyway, so it just really, this feature really allows the community in talking to each other to be really intentional with what they say and how you can find other people who are expressing things that you care to read right then.
And this pairs really well with a feature that we're going to look at in the future here, which is our new forums.
You want to go up there, Stephen? Show us where the forums are. Let's go to forums. So we've never had a forum, but I'm so excited about this because, I can't tell you how many times I get the question, how do I weigh and measure soup, right? Someone starts a thread, and then there's nesting in there, like all the people respond to that forum. And then can you search the forums, Stephen? So
You,
is
you
there a
can
way to
search,
look through them?
you can search the forum by keyword. So there's the benefit to using the forum is that it does have a simple search feature
Uh-huh.
that will turn up the thread discussion that that keyword lives in.
Yep.
So you have a long list of conversations here. You can put in a keyword. So let's, for instance, pull one of these up. We have community, right? And we know that's in this post here. If we did a search for community, we would see that this is the only one that came up.
Okay, so those are forums. I'm so excited about that feature. Members, let's check out the members. So these are the people, and we just have a few people in here right now, but starting Thursday when we open registration for Brightline Sisu in the webinar that I'm giving with Everett Considine, we're just gonna have so many people flooding in here. And there's a lot of things about this profile that we've customized to Brightline Eating. So you can learn a lot about somebody. So let's imagine that I'm, just maybe, going crazy homeschooling my kids. And I want to search for people who live with kids at home, because right now that's impacting my Brightline Eating journey. Okay, now we're talking. Here are people who are living with kids at home. So we check out Sans. And okay, so Sans lives in Salt Lake City, and there's all kinds of connection and support information, whether she can offer support, whether she's looking for support. So here's another thing. This is the other way you can find buddies and mastermind groups. You can search the whole membership community for people who are looking for a buddy or looking for a mastermind.
So the members area in the communities functions similarly to Facebook groups members, which is a list of all the members that are in that group and with the added ability to add all the filters to search. Now the people page is what we're more familiar with as far as layout with the phone list, where it has the map and all of that. But it still has the list of people. And then it also but it's the list of everyone in the entire community, and it has the same filters to sort them by.
Yeah.
So also adds the ability to sort by location, right? And you can use the map to zoom in and find someone specific. And there's Nadia, who maybe lives in my area.
Nice. You get this amazing map, which shows you the whole world and where everybody is. And when our entire Brightliners community floods in here, this map is just going to be exploding with people all over the world. And then you can use the filters. See where it says more filters? You can search by location, or you can search by any of the filters. So for example, under relationship status, if you're experiencing, that it's hard to be living with a partner right now, especially doing Brightline Eating and they're eating your food or whatever it is that's challenging, and still trying to work full time or whatever with children at home, you can search by those features: living with a partner, working full time, taking care of kids at home, and you can find the other people who are in that same boat and start to make phone calls if you want, or just reach out, send them a little, people can send people messages inside of here, right?
They can message, so you can select Sans, which you'd have to click directly on her name, I believe, to open it up, and then you send a message.
Great.
And we can also set up group messaging as well.
Julia, talk more about the privacy options. There's lots of privacy options here, right?
Okay. Yeah, let's actually go into the profile, Stephen, and show them. So, okay, here under my account, you've got, show the tabs at the top. See, you can choose languages, privacy, notifications. So privacy and notifications are going to be the ones you want to go to first. And you can decide whether you want to hide all of your profile, and you can decide whether you want to hide your contact information.
Beautiful. So you can be a lurker in here. You can join and hide your profile and just kind of, watch the boards, watch the discussion forums. What else is cool about this new platform? Like if you wanted to say what's better about it than Facebook, or what are you excited about?
There's a news section.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
You can go and you can just see news from Brightline Eating to you, to the group.
Whoa.
Not having to filter through the live feed to find it.
Right.
That's incredible. So I can tell people stuff. We can all tell people.
We can have direct news from Susan. We can have, and we even have a category here, news from Susan. They can sort and see directly posts from Susan. We have Facebook Live announcements, general Brightline eating announcements, vlogs, as well as training materials.
That's right. The whole first 8 days of the course is going to be just setting up your profile and getting used to this community area. But this events area, this could be really critical for Brightline Eating, because
I agree.
what we're planning is that all those, Bay Area's brightest, Pacific Northwest's brightest, New York's brightest groups will become groups inside here.
Right.
And then their events can be listed on this events page.
Right.
So, and if you're traveling somewhere, you can preferentially search for future events that are coming up in that area.
So that's events, really, really cool feature, a great way to bring people together either virtually or physically, and create some real community events. We also have a downloads section, which as of right now, there's nothing here, but we'll be adding docs as they come up.
All the food plans and the directions for transitioning to maintenance, and the mastermind group documents and the sponsorship documents. And we're going to load all of the basic documents of Brightline Eating into this area. Oh, I don't know if that did it justice. I don't. But here's the thing. When people get in there and are experiencing what these new opportunities, abilities, potentialities to find people who have the same issues, demographics, needs, or the complementary needs as you. Like if you're able to give support, just making that known with just a little tick box in the community, and suddenly people can find you. It's just going to be a huge game changer. So this course that's coming down the pike is, let me just mention a very brief bit about it. It's going to be in this new community platform, and we are building this plane as we fly it. Like I said, Julia and Steven just showed me this community a week ago. This is all very fast. But I predict we'll never go back. That's what I predict. And I also think it's going to have a lot of downstream consequences for the ways that the community is going to morph and evolve. And my commitment to you is I will keep you informed. I will keep you informed. But what's happening now is we're offering a course. Registration is starting tomorrow with this webinar. And it's the first ever course that we have offered that encompasses 3 components. We've always kept these components separate. It's got the parts work that Everett is going to teach us on how to deal with our anxious and overwhelmed parts and come back to center. It's also going to have a component on keeping your food bright, because these are crazy times, and absolutely the brain, for many of us, most of us maybe, is ratcheting up its insistence that we need food to cope with this. And so there's going to be a very 14-day challenge, boot camp, reboot, resume-esque component to the course on staying bright through crisis. And it's going to be new content. I'm going to create it as we go, like I do with all courses the first time they get created. And it's going to also work synergistically with this new community platform. So there will be suggestions and components and exercises that have to do with working with the new community the way it's structured, because it affords so much more. So for example, someone who's struggling with boredom with their food, I used to be able to eat out, I'm stuck at home, there are limited food choices or whatever. We're going to have a recipe group, right, in this new community website, and it's going to be like, okay, we're going to charge the community with, thinking up recipes that will help, sharing their recipes that will help this person in this situation, or that kind of thing. Okay, so parts work, staying bright, and then the third component is science. I don't usually share a ton of science in courses. It's not what I do. The courses are usually practical application. But people were asking for the science that I would have shared at the family reunion, which got canceled this year. And at first I said, no, I haven't done that work. I haven't actually made all those lectures, blah, blah, blah. But I'm actually just going to go ahead and do that and share the science. So that's going to be in there too. I'm going to give a lecture. The first little bit of it actually is going to be in the webinar that I'm doing, but then a fuller treatise on the neurochemistry of stress versus happiness, like stress versus calm and well-being, anxiety, overwhelm, fear versus every type of positive emotion you can imagine. Cortisol is what drives all the bad stuff, and there's 4 neurotransmitters that drive all the good stuff: dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphin. And I'm going to be talking about how your brain pulls you back and forth between the two, and exercises that you can do to restore and flood your happy chemicals. And it's going to be more necessary than ever because cortisol is going through the roof right now for people here and there. It's certainly, we're all experiencing the opportunity of having that stress, overwhelm, and anxiety ratchet up on us. So the course is going to have those 3 components, and then of course in this new community website. The course again is called Brightline Sisu, Calm and Bright Through Crisis. So let me see, have I covered everything that's coming down the pike? Yeah, I think there will be more changes coming. There will. And I will tell you about them as they come. Maybe I'll do a coming down the pike again, or a coming down the pike part 2 or something vlog here in a few weeks. But I think that's enough for now. That is the immediate future. This course will be 6 weeks. That is the immediate future. And I guess the last thing I want to say is about this new community platform. It is a trial. We will see how it goes. But I want to harken back to something that I talked about in 2019, which is inclusivity. Inclusivity. The way our community is structured right now is not inclusive. And the reason is that 20% of people, we've looked at this, it is a solid, probably a little more than 20% of people will not be in Facebook. They just won't. There's a whole variety of reasons for that. People have different reasons. I don't need to enumerate them. But they won't. Some small percentage of people do end up joining Facebook begrudgingly to access our community, but the rest we lose. They never get to experience the Brightline Eating community. And that is not inclusive. That is not inclusive. And so I am hopeful that we have found the solution to that and solved a whole bunch of other stuff as well. Like, how do I find all the people who are looking for a mastermind group right now? All right, my dear, that's enough for this weekly vlog. I love you. Please come join me on one of these webinars. Everett and I are going to have a ball, and we are going to present some really helpful stuff. And don't we all need a little dose of dealing with fear, anxiety, and overwhelm during times of uncertainty? I think maybe we do. So click below, register for one of the webinar times. You can always watch the replay if the live slots don't work for you. If you don't want to hear about the course, and blah, 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 then by all means don't watch that last part. Oh, I forgot to say, this is so important. Everyone is getting half off the course. And there is an extreme sliding scale on top of that. We can take another 93% off of that. You hear me? If you want to be in this course and your finances have just blown up, we want you in. So this is to serve you. Whatever it takes, come join us. And the webinars are free, and you don't even have to listen to the pitch for the course if you don't want to hear anything about it. Just come, let us schmooze with you and talk with you about dealing with stress, anxiety, and overwhelm in uncertain times. The link below is to register. I'm not saying I hope you're safe and well. And the reason I'm not saying it is because some people aren't well right now, right? And if one of your loved ones isn't well right now, or you're not well right now, I don't want that to land off. But I do want to say I love you, and I hope you're making it through. And we are in this together. And my team and I are working overtime right now to serve you, because your nutritional status matters right now. And mine does, and all of ours does. Our health and well-being matter right now, more than they ever have. And that is coming to the fore. And it is harder than ever for people with brains like ours, unless we are well equipped. It is harder than ever to stay away from the excess food. So that's what we do around here. That's our wheelhouse. And we love on ourselves and each other when we're not. So join us, lean in. We are here for you in these crazy dark times. And I will see you next week.